The opening contest was a triple threat match for the number one contendership for the NXT Women's Championship of Jada Parker, Lola Vice, and Kalani Jordan. Good match overall, with three talent that are very on the up, just making it onto the next stage of going for the NXT Women's Championship and possibly being at the top of the division. The match itself had moments for all three to shine, and that the crowd itself seemed to be into it. For the most part, there was moments where they did dip down, but the three would be able to do something in the ring that would get them back into it. But overall, the match was fine. Nothing spectacular, like standout-ish, but it was solid. And to my surprise, when Lola Vice got the win, because as the entrances were being made, Kalani Jordan went to the crowd, and it was her parents were at ringside, so obviously you would assume that she's the shoe-in for winning this match because her parents are there. But no, Lola got the roll-up on Jada for the win. So yeah, overall, an alright opener. Following the triple threat match, we had the NXT Tag Team Championship match of Hank and Tank defending against Dark State, Dion Lennox, and Iris Griffiths. Sorry if I botched the name. And that. This was just chaos in the best way. You've got four big guys just going at it from the get-go. Big move after big move. This I personally would have said should have opened the card, taken a page out of the best period of NXT was the Black and Gold, where every takeover was opening with a really hot tag match. This should have opened the show. This wasn't like anything groundbreaking, keep in mind, but this was still a really solid match of just big move after big move, getting the crowd up. This is what should have opened the show, I personally think. Yeah, and not much to say. It was just one thing after another, and Dark State picks up the win after with a Doomsday device, and are your new tag team champions. Following the tag match, we had our second of two triple threat matches, and the better one out of the two for me, which was JC Jane versus Ash by Elegance versus Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship. And like I said, the better out of the two triple threat matches, and for me, match of the night. This was a barn burner. Just fast paced from the get go, no slowing down, all kinds of fun, and really gave these three women a good time to shine. It was a very good match. I was really invested in it at times, and with all three women at one time or another getting a very close fall and potentially winning the title. Obviously JC being the double champ and that, and there's only so long you can do it for, so it was a surprise that she would win. But at the same time, since this whole TNA WWE partnership has been going on, TNA hasn't really come off well. It's been all WWE. They've gotten a load of their stars on their show, and they were in possession of TNA's two top titles, being the world title and the Knockouts title. Obviously that changes at the end of the match, which I'll get to in a minute, but so going into it, it really felt like TNA as a brand was the underdog against WWE, even though JC's the only WWE star in the match, with Masha and Ash being from the TNA, they still felt like the underdogs. There was some real fun comedy on the outside between the Elegance brand and Fatal Influence, which led to Influence getting ejected, which pretty much was the downfall for JC, because obviously her being distracted by her team getting removed, and that because of that, and obviously that'll lead to even more tension and the eventual breakup of the faction. But yeah, the end came when very shortly with Ash by Elegance becoming the new TNA Knockouts champion, which is great for both her as a wrestler and TNA as a brand to get a win and get one of their world titles back in possession. But overall, very good match, very great fun. Definitely would recommend giving it a watch. Following the Knockouts match, we had basically the only real blood feud, I would say, on the show, which was Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace. Is it any surprise that these two had a really great match? This was a really solid match. There is an argument that this was the best match on the card, but I personally had a bit more fun and enjoyed the triple threat match a bit more, but this was a close second for me. Yeah, do I need to say why these two had a really good match? Both of them have reached the top of the women's divisions in separate companies. Obviously, Blake in AEW being women's world champion, and then obviously Jordan in TNA becoming Knockouts champion. And this was a really good match. The crowd were really invested in it, seeing Blake get her comeuppance after everything she's done to Jordan and that, and Jordan to get the victory. But sadly, that's not what happened. Blake was able to just get the win after exposing the turnbuckle, and Jordan going into it and getting a roll up. So obviously Blake wins, which makes sense, but also does protect Jordan in defeat somewhat, because it wasn't a clean victory, and clearly continuing this feud, because you know these two are just going to carry on going, and it's only a matter of time before one of them reaches the top of the division and becomes NXT Women's Champion. But overall, very solid match, very good. Following the match between Blake and Jordan, we had the mixed tag match of Chelsea Green, Ethan Page versus Tyra May Steele and Dion Heights. Sorry if I butchered the name. Going into Heatwave, this was my most anticipated match, weirdly, because the partnership between Chelsea and Ethan has been so fun. The comical heels that you know they're going to get that comeuppance at some point, but they're so entertaining, and the partnership is just comical gold at the moment and should be given credit for. So yeah, the match itself, nothing. It was just what you would expect. The good guys got over on the heels. The heels tried getting out of the match. Obviously, there was a lot of comedy spots involving Chelsea and Ethan, and then, you know, there was an end, with which I was surprised with, that Chelsea and Ethan were able to win, because it seemed going into the show that Tavian and Tyra were going to be the ones to get the victory, because obviously they have been kind of made the butt of the joke by Chelsea and Ethan. But yeah, which, when you boil this match down, it was very much a America versus Canada match, which we've seen before several times over the course of wrestling. Obviously, Canada is always the biggest heel in wrestling, and this American crowd were very much on the Canadian side. They were really cheering for Chelsea and Ethan. They were really behind Chelsea, especially. Yeah, which was quite surprising, because normally in these sort of feuds you always get the hometown American crowd very firmly behind the Americans, and then just booing whoever's not from that country. The end of the match came when, thanks to the Secret Service, Chelsea was able to get the upper hand and hit the Unprettier and get the win. So overall, not much of a match, I personally think, but very, very entertaining from a sports entertainment side, if you will. Very fun indeed. This then brings us to the main event of the show, which was Obafemi versus Javon Evans for the NXT Championship. And this was a very fun big guy versus small guy match, with Oba really being able to keep up with Javon's fast pace, and Javon really being able to take the punishment that Oba, as the big dominant guy, can take. For me, it's very clear, and it might not be for everyone else, but for me, Javon is clearly the new heart and soul of NXT. Like so many before him, like Sami Zayn, Johnny Gargano, sorry about that, of being the heart and soul pure babyface that can take the punishment, take it and still get up and be that crowd favourite that doesn't matter what happens, they will always be beloved. On the other hand, Oba for me is ready for the main roster. I want him to go to the main roster, and I want him to be pushed to the main event immediately. You could do it as a dominant heel, or you could just do it as like he's just this cool guy. But either way, I think he should be put in the main event, potentially the WWE Championship or the World Championship, it doesn't matter, but he should be the one to dethrone somebody and just hold the belt for a very long time until there is that next person to dethrone him. The match, like I said, the match itself was very fun, very entertaining, with both of them being able to keep up with each other. And that brings us to the end of the match, which was completely insane, with Javon actually getting a visual pin on Oba. And the ref, because there was a ref bump, a new ref came down, counted the 3, but the original ref woke up and saw that Oba's foot was under the rope, so it didn't count, and the match continued. This just pissed Oba off and just picked Javon up and literally did Bam Bam Bigelow's spot with Spike Dudley back in ECW, where he just picked him up and threw him out of the ring, obviously not into the crowd, but through and onto the announce table that just obliterated on impact. The second time in a week that Javon has gone through the announce table. I mean, fair enough if he's willing to put his body through that, but yeah, it just proves more to me why he's the heart and soul of NXT. And obviously that immediately allowed Oba to pick up the win and retain the NXT Championship. And then Ricky Saints came out for a stare off as the show went off the air to set him up as the next challenger. So yeah, very fun match, very good match. In conclusion, NXT Heatwave 2025 was a alright show in my mind, with 3 really good matches, them being the knockouts, triple threat, the Blake and Jordan match, and the main event. Very good match. But my one issue with the show, as an overall PLE, it really didn't feel like a premium live event or a pay-per-view, however you want to say. It felt more like just a TV special, like when they do New Year's Eve or something along those lines. There wasn't that this is a pay-per-view feeling to me. And yeah, that kind of just dampened the show, especially when the opener for me, even though it was a good match, it could have been on NXT. The same with the tag match, as much as, again, the chaoticness, it felt like a main event of NXT. Something just didn't make, there was something about this show that overall that just didn't have that this was a pay-per-view PLE show feeling. That's not to say the match quality wasn't up there, it definitely was. But yeah, it that's my one major issue with this show, was it just didn't feel as special as it should have. But overall, the three best matches being the knockouts, the NXT title match, and Blake and Jordan for me. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video and see you soon.